Welcome to our Trump Briefing Show. Today, we're diving into the tumultuous world of markets as they take a hit with the looming threat of new U.S. tariffs. President Trump has declared a so-called Liberation Day, where reciprocal tariffs could shake up trade with Canada and beyond. The uncertainty is palpable, leaving investors on edge and markets in decline. In political news, conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is pushing back against critics who say his campaign isn't focused enough on Trump's policies. At a rally in St. John, he highlighted the challenges Canadians face, including rising living costs, while promoting a Canada First agenda. Despite some internal party turbulence, Poilievre remains committed to addressing the everyday issues that matter to Canadians. Lastly, a White House aide has made waves by projecting that Trump's tariffs could generate a staggering $6 trillion over the next decade, potentially marking the largest tax hike in U.S. history. While some argue that these tariffs could benefit American jobs, critics warn about the burden on consumers and the potential for job losses in the auto industry. The stakes are high as we watch how these developments unfold. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. The Toronto Star reports that markets have taken a significant hit as Canada prepares for a new wave of tariffs from the U.S. President Donald Trump, who has ominously dubbed Wednesday Liberation Day. This day marks the imposition of reciprocal tariffs, where U.S. duties will rise to match those of other countries. The impending 25% levies on automobiles and parts loom large, with some speculation about exemptions for vehicles made with American components under the Canada-US-Mexico agreement. The uncertainty surrounding these tariffs adds to the anxiety, especially as Trump has also hinted at economy-wide tariffs linked to the fentanyl crisis that could again impact Canada and Mexico. The Toronto Star also highlights conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's staunch defense against criticisms that his campaign is neglecting the implications of Trump's policies on Canadians. During a campaign event in St. John, New Brunswick, Poilievre emphasized the pressing issues faced by Canadians, such as rising housing costs and drug-related crises, while asserting that his focus on a Canada First agenda is crucial in the face of American economic aggression. He aims to bolster Canada's energy independence and cut taxes to stimulate growth, despite concerns from some within his party about his alignment with Trump-like rhetoric and the need to pivot the campaign's focus towards the immediate threats posed by U.S. tariffs. CNN reports on White House aide Peter Navarro's bold assertion that Trump's tariffs could generate a staggering $6 trillion in revenue over the next decade, potentially marking the largest tax hike in U.S. history. Navarro insists that these tariffs are not a tax increase but a means to bolster jobs and national security, framing them as beneficial for America. However, economists counter that the burden of these tariffs will ultimately fall on American consumers through increased prices on imported goods. As Trump prepares to announce additional tariffs, including a significant 25% on imported cars, critics warn that these policies could lead to economic setbacks and higher costs for consumers, undermining the very goals Navarro claims they will achieve. South China Morning Post reports that as the deadline for Donald Trump's proposed tariffs approaches, a sense of uncertainty looms over global trade. Dubbed Liberation Day, this day marks Trump's intention to impose tariffs on countries with significant trade imbalances with the United States. Critics are concerned that this could spark a global trade war, with major trading partners like China, Canada, and the EU already preparing retaliatory measures. The tariffs could vary widely based on each country's existing import duties and taxes. While Trump has hinted at a broad application of these tariffs, experts caution that the actual impact remains unclear, with potential consequences for inflation, investment, and overall economic stability. The Independent highlights the UK's precarious position as it braces for the impact of Trump's tariffs. Following the announcement of these sweeping tariffs, markets across the UK and Europe reacted negatively, with the FTSE 100 experiencing significant drops. The UK government, which had hoped to negotiate a trade deal that would exempt British goods from tariffs, now faces the harsh reality that talks may extend beyond the impending deadline. Economists warn that the tariffs could lead to a notable decline in EU GDP, with countries like Germany and Ireland particularly vulnerable due to their reliance on exports to the US. As the situation develops, the uncertainty surrounding tariffs continues to weigh heavily on both the UK and global economies. In a separate report by the Associated Press, a special prosecutor has made offers to resolve criminal cases against 10 New York prison guards charged in the beating death of an inmate. The case revolves around the brutal treatment of Robert Brooks, whose death was captured on body cameras, leading to murder and manslaughter charges against several correctional officers. The prosecutor indicated that some defendants may have been offered plea deals, although details remain sparse. As the court proceedings continue, the focus remains on the implications of the officers' actions and the pursuit of justice for Brooks, who had been serving a lengthy prison sentence prior to his death. The Globe and Mail reports on Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's reluctance to address the growing discontent within his campaign, as public opinion polls indicate a shift in favor of the Liberals. During a campaign stop in St. John, New Brunswick, Poilievre deflected questions about potential changes in campaign leadership, focusing instead on his main themes concerning rising housing costs and the promise of a better life for Canadians. Insiders within the Conservative Party have expressed frustration over campaign manager Jenny Byrne's rigid strategy, which has not adapted to the changing political landscape, leading to a dysfunctional organization as tensions rise and the party struggles to connect with voters. The Associated Press highlights the chaos within the Mississippi legislature, where Republican infighting has stalled the approval of a crucial $7 billion budget. Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann criticized House leadership for failing to attend a key conference weekend, resulting in the expiration of nearly 100 bills that would have formed the budget. With lawmakers unable to negotiate effectively, the possibility of a costly special session looms, which would not only drain taxpayer funds but also complicate the legislative process further. The ongoing discord between House and Senate leaders, despite being from the same party, has prevented timely discussions on the budget, leaving essential services in limbo. The Independent sheds light on the paradox of Democratic lawmakers investing in Tesla while publicly criticizing CEO Elon Musk and his influence in the Trump administration. Despite vocal opposition to Musk's role in government efficiency cuts, Representatives Josh Gottheimer, Vicente Gonzalez, and Gil Cisneros have made significant purchases of Tesla stock. This contradiction highlights the tension within the Democratic Party as they grapple with Musk's controversial actions while also acknowledging the financial potential of his company. Meanwhile, Tesla's stock has seen a decline, and the company faces increasing scrutiny and backlash, including vandalism and arson attacks against its vehicles and dealerships, prompting the Justice Department to label such acts as domestic terrorism. Associated Press reports that comedian Amber Ruffin has been cut from the White House Correspondents Association annual dinner, a decision made to shift the event's focus back to journalistic excellence. This announcement follows Ruffin's recent podcast appearance where she labeled the Trump administration as kind of a bunch of murderers, sparking outrage from the Trump team. Ruffin, known for her work on NBC's Seth Meyers, openly stated that she would not tailor her humor to include politicians from all sides, contrary to the association's wishes. The association's president, Eugene Daniels, emphasized the importance of honoring journalistic achievements rather than engaging in political division, marking a significant change in the event's direction. Notably, the last time the dinner featured no comedian was in 2019, when historian Ron Chernow spoke instead. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.